What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Grind Force Gaming. Nova here with another Street Fighter Duel video, and today I want to talk about something very interesting. This is just a conversation that I wanted to have with you guys. It's going to be about fighter progression, I guess, and just like how your account evolves with time, because in the beginning of the game, really you only have one method of making your fighter stronger, and that's just to level them up, put some gear on them, and that's really it. That's like the baseline thing that you have going on. But as your game progresses forward, as you get more access to different things, that starts to change dramatically. We're going to be looking at these original tokens here and strengthening tokens. Those are what upgrade your fighting spirit. There's also boost stones that get you from fighting spirit level 20 to 30. And then we also have the workshop tokens, the vehicle tokens here. So, I mean, on top of that, we have the brand new things that just came in, Soul Shard and Soul Core. Those aren't available for every fighter, but they are available for some. And this is kind of like an optimization of gem use. You know, in the early game, what do you spend your gems on? If you don't have divination unlocked yet, if you haven't beaten 1540, then you're going to start, you should just be accumulating gems in the beginning and saving them for that so you can get Bison. But after that, the gem use is going to change because different things need to be acquired in order to help you progress farther in the game. And the reason I bring this up is because I'm just kind of at a weird stage on my account right now, which is not it's not a bad thing. Like, I'm kind of in a good position right now. And that's why I want to make this video, because if we look at the fighters that I have right now, and not that I have a ton of 6 out of 6 vehicles for these fighters, but let's look at Dulcim, for example, because he's one that I do have that for. And he's definitely one of the fighters where you need his 6 out of 6 vehicles. His gear is maxed as far as the game allows for right now. It's T2. I have it fully upgraded. Every gear can have 2 tier levels, and then it can have 5 additional upgrades on top of it. They're also faction bonus, which is extremely important for fighters. That gives them an additional 30% of stats on each piece of gear. It's huge. His fighting spirit is at FS 30, which is as high as it can go. Well, maybe, can I level it? Nope, I can't. So that's as high as it can go at this point. So all I can really do with him at this point is work on his vehicles, right? And I already got 6 out of 6. So the problem that I'm having right now is, as I start to get 6 out of 6 vehicles for fighters, I'm starting to look at this and say, well, how can I work on this fighter now? How can I make this fighter better? Because Dulcim is the prime candidate for this conversation, because he's kind of a glass cannon. He has incredible DPS, but you come up against a Sea Viper or a Guy or an Akuma, and he gets wiped out. And it's really difficult sometimes to keep him alive. And there's nothing worse than going through the whole match, getting your stacks built up, and getting him stronger just to have him get wiped out in one hit. And when I say the stacks, what I'm talking about is his 6 out of 6. This makes him perform Yoga Tower, which is his skill 1. So you don't even have to have this skill slotted. The vehicles just make him do it after any super combo or just regular combo that he does. And this makes him meditate, and that increases his damage and effect accuracy by 3%. It lasts for 15 seconds. And then after 5 seconds, his crit rate is additionally increased by 15% for 15 seconds. And this doesn't have a limit. This does not have a cap. It will just continue to go. So the longer the fight goes, the stronger he gets. And it's just, it's incredible for boss fights, for Shadowlands as well. There's nothing worse than being in Shadowlands and getting all the way to the end to where you're about to start getting, the big points, and he just gets nuked. But what if you could make him more resilient to damage? And I'm kind of at the point with my vehicles where I'm looking at my wish list here, and I'm thinking to myself, well, who do I pull for next? Who has a 6 out of 6 vehicle skill that's worth my time and worth my effort in saving up tokens for, and then hoping to draw for? Once I finish some of these fighters, who do I put in? Because Zangief only needs 1 more, Bison needs 1 more, and Elena needs 1 more as well. So I'm about to have 3 fighters taken off this list. And I got to be honest with you, I don't have 3 fighters in mind that I think are worth adding to here. So then what do you do in that sense? I'll probably put Blanca in, maybe add in Abel. I don't know. I haven't gone for the special summon fighters. I don't have Evil Ryu. I don't have Goken. I don't have Akuma. So, I mean, they're not an option. I don't know which one of them I'm going to pull for. So I don't want to start getting vehicles for one that I might not even draw for, because it's very difficult to get them. But if you put in fighters you already have the vehicles for, you can actually pull duplicate SSS vehicles for them. And what happens is you have the ability to then level them up. And this was a patch that came in, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago or so. I honestly don't really recall, but it's not something I looked into because it just seems so far off. But here I am, trying to decide who I should be drawing for. The game's not going to give you any dupes until you finish this. So once you have gotten 6 out of 6 vehicles for a fighter, you do have the potential to leave them in and get duplicates. And each vehicle can be leveled up 5 times. Okay, there's 5 little rectangles underneath it for the level. I've not done this yet, but if I click on the eye down here, it shows that each level does a 2% damage reduction. And the cars are for PvP. And the other ones are, okay, so one is damage bonus and reduction in PvP. One is final damage reduction in all battles, and the other is final damage bonus in all battles. So we have damage reduction here on 2 of them, which means if you have the 2 cars and the 2 Jeeps, that means you're getting 40% damage reduction. That's absolutely insane. And I'm just wondering if this is the play now. Like, is this the next step? Is this the next move to make for my account? Because I honestly don't know who else to put in there. And this is something I've been kind of like trying to figure out over the last week. And I'm really kind of leaning toward just putting Dulcine back in because he could definitely use that flat damage reduction. And I don't think there's any way to control which one you draw. I think it's random, just like everything else. But I don't know. I think I'm going to do it. And I think that's going to change everything for him because this gives you an ability to make fighters more capable of staying on the field for longer. So if you're in this position as well and you're kind of not sure what the next step is to make your fighter stronger or to make your account just, push farther in leaderboards, do better in the arena, do better in events and that kind of stuff, I think this might be the route. I'm definitely going to try this out. Once I get one of these fighters off this list, I will likely just put Dulcine back in. Because if I can start getting damage reduction applied to him like that just all the time, that's totally going to change the gameplay. It's also going to increase his damage too. I mean, this is a way to better a fighter that I kind of wasn't even aware of until like just the other day. Final damage bonus. So we could end up with a 20% damage bonus just from that. So we can get a 40% damage bonus and a 40% damage reduction bonus, basically. One is only for PvP, but the other one's for all battles. So 20 for all battles. Like that's just nuts. I almost want to just like use choice chests on the motorcycle because that's going to make him perform so much better in boss fights and in events and in Shadowlands even. Definitely something to consider. So I think, if you guys are just starting out, I've been playing this game since it first came out, since day one. Just kind of free to play, grinding my way through, with the exception of getting Flame Chun-Li and Nero. But aside from that, I'm just doing the daily grind, and I've kind of gotten to this point already right now. So I think initially you should be saving your gems. You need to get Bison, then you're going to want to use them on boost stones. And after boost stones, once you start getting your best fighters to FS30, then you can start focusing on workshop tokens as well, because the vehicles are extremely important. Like some of these skills on the 6/6 vehicles are insane. And if you haven't looked at them yet and you don't have the fighters, that's okay. If you go to the fighter thing here, you can click on gallery, you can click on whatever fighter it is, click on garage on the right, and then you have access to read all of these. So you can kind of start to prioritize in advance. But this is definitely something I think that you guys should look at, and I'm excited to test this out, see how this works. And I'll definitely be reporting back to you guys once I have more data on this, especially if I start seeing some crazy improvements, because I am at that point and I don't really want to add fighters into my wish list just to add fighters into my wish list. Like I want there to be a point to it. It's very important to optimize in games like this. Otherwise you're going to fall behind. You're going to waste resources. You're going to waste time. And that's ultimately going to hurt your event progress, your story mode progress, and that's going to lessen your rewards. So again, definitely take a look at your account. Think about if this is something that maybe you should be doing. and I will definitely report back to you once I have some more data on it. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I would really appreciate it. If you would take a second to hit the subscribe button, throw a like on the video and comment as well, that would be amazing. We'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.